Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. If you are in the Midwest or anywhere else that is having some amazing weather right now, I sure hope you are because it's been the perfect autumn. It's just been absolute bliss to be outside, to be out in nature. I definitely feel recharged and revived after getting out today, and I'm going to be hopefully making that more of a ritual or a routine, to just get myself outside because it's such a natural clearing, and it's such a great way to distress. So obviously I've been MIA for a while, haven't really recorded many videos lately, and I've just been in almost like fight or flight mode with the day job, and traveling just nonstop, having events. And now, now that we're in autumn and nearing the end of October, I am really looking forward to going inward. And hopefully that will mean, if I'm staying home, other than some travel I have coming up in November, I'm hoping I can come on here more and provide some more guidance for you guys. I do plan to also do some more posts on Instagram and Facebook as well. I tend to do them around the full moon and new moon at least, but I am really hoping to start getting back into that energy because I know we're in some pretty heavy, challenging times right now. Everybody seems to be going through quite a bit, and you know, any type of guidance you have, that I can provide to you, or um, that you can tap into in other ways, right? Even if it is like getting out in nature just to reconnect and ground and reset. Sometimes it's even as simple as your own breath that can provide that for you. It's so critical and so important to do it, and I know we all don't do it enough. Um, I am also still taking the private readings. I do those all over Zoom. That information is going to be down below. Note that if you do go to my website, it's going to look like my calendar is full. I just did that because it was getting too challenging to manage because I had so many opportunities and things popping up, or late nights when I had to work at my day job. But obviously, if somebody wants to book a session with me, I will make time, and I will we will work that out. So please just email me, um, or contact me as indicated down below. So this reading is just going to be a general pick a card, pick a pile. It's going to be geared toward kind of like the fall vibes, tapping into current things, energies that may be impacting your life, situations, and just, over the next, obviously we're already into fall, but next couple of months or so, take what resonates, toss the rest. Remember, this is a general reading. You may want to watch all three. There's no harm in doing that, and just to see if any messages pop out at you there, and can help you, guide you on your journey. So I will list the decks I'm using down below as well. I am really excited because I am using my brand new deck, self-created deck, the Autumn Oracle. That is available for sale. Just note, you're not going to be able to get it by Halloween, but it's not all Halloween cards. It's just a general deck for autumn. And if you're like me, I love to use autumn type things year round. But just wanted to let you guys know that. I do have a limited number of some of my self-created decks in inventory on hand, including the Halloween Tarot, which I am using in this reading today. And those are at a steeply discounted rate. So if you're interested in any of my decks, I suggest, contacting me, emailing me first before you buy on the Make Playing Card site, because you might be able to get it faster, and you'll definitely be able to get it at a lower price. So these will be time stamped, and you should be able to click on whichever one you want to skip ahead to. Note that you can choose from number 1 is going to be the pumpkin. I believe this is aventurine crystal. I'm not exactly sure. It might be calcite. And we've got this witch hat, which is obsidian. Very cute. And then we have a skull. And I cannot remember what crystal this is, but if you're drawn to it, you're drawn to it. All right. So without further ado, we are going to start with number 1. And number 1 is the pumpkin. And as you guys know, if you've watched my readings for a while, I like to shuffle the pick of cards in advance just because it saves a lot of time. And I figure you probably don't want to watch because I have so many different decks I use. I do have other decks on hand around me in case I need to clarify. I will obviously shuffle those on camera, but it may take me a moment of some awkward silence to process the messages, but we'll just see. Okay. Wow. Don't worry, nothing bad. It's just amazing to me, you know, how many times when I do these readings that, you know, I shuffle from different decks and get very similar messages. It's just further confirmation of the messages that are coming out. So the first thing off the bat from my autumn oracle is dreams. Pay attention to the messages in your dreams. And if you're like me lately, you maybe have been having some very intense, very vivid dreams. And I need to listen to my own advice, but I, would suggest if you're able, as soon as you get up, even if you have, like most people have their phone nearby, just to type some notes to yourself, like, because you think, especially when you wake up and it's so vivid, it's like, oh, I won't forget that. There's no way I'll definitely remember that. And then, like, what happened to me this morning is I ended up falling back asleep. It was like the one day I didn't have to get up and be anywhere. And, fell asleep for like 20 more minutes, and then everything was foggy again, like, and I didn't really remember what I dreamed about. I just have these feelings, right? And so a lot of times you're going to find these patterns and these messages that come through, and it may not make sense until you start to see nuances and similarities in them. So that is one message coming through. We also have the King of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. And we have 2 cards about taking action, making moves, change, and progress. So the King of Wands, to me, I mean, this could be, if you are a fire sign or you are dealing with a fire sign male, this is just, could be a specific message for you in that regard, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But this to me is, having the confidence to go after what you want and actually taking action to move forward and make the change in your life. Right? And so what I'm hearing is, like, with this Ten of Pentacles card, of course, it's like a little trick-or-treat scene. This little girl coming to the door. She's, well, and this is interesting. She's taking the initiative to go forward and say, hey, I want candy. I'm going to go do this, right? The candy isn't going to be, brought to her sitting at home on the couch, right? She's got to go out and work for it. And I'm getting that you're doing that you've been putting in a lot of effort. And I think what I'm hearing is, King of Wands is associated with Sagittarius, as I mentioned. I think Sagittarius season, which is late November into December, is when you really may start reaping the rewards and seeing the evidence of your hard work. But the most important thing you can do, obviously, yes, you have goals and you have things you want to achieve and you need to take action to do those things. Then there's sort of this like balance of sitting back and waiting as well, right? Because if I'm hearing about it being a delicate balance, there's a fine line between taking action, moving forward, and going after what you want, and then forcing. You don't want to force things. So rejoicing in the present, which is the joy card, right? That's that energy of gratitude and being grateful for all the things you have, right? Because if we're constantly focused on the future and that 10 of Pentacles that it's out there, and this world that's out there, and these are the things, you know, then we lose sight of what we already have, and that can actually block us from bringing in things, because we're always seeking instead of allowing and rejoicing. I wanted to show you this little card. It's adorable. This is the Boo Boo Oracle Fire Witch Tarot. Taking action, making moves. It's so funny. It almost looks like this little girl who's trick-or-treating. This is super cute. So this could be a message for, you know, a specific message for some of you about the color pink. Something to do with pink flowers, being in the feminine energy is what I'm hearing. So for some of you, it could be that King of Wands, you're too much in your King of Wands, which is the forcing, the action orientation, right? But ultimately, this is all very beautiful, because I see, you know, when you get this change in progress card, this is a really great card. And it looks like, you know, they've been through a battle, right? This poor little cat. I love this. This is the Everyday Witch Oracle. It's just a very whimsical, and there's the Everyday Witch Tarot as well. It's a very whimsical deck, and this poor little cat is holding on to this. I guess it's a mast, right, on a little boat, and it's like tattered, shredded. It's like they've been through some stuff. Like, they may have even went over the falls and made it, right? They've like been through highs and lows and been on this journey, but like they're finally reaching the shore. They're finally reaching their goal, their progress. Also love the earth magic. This to me is where I was picking up on kind of like that balance of, all right, yes, like go after what you want. You need to take action, make progress, but then sit back and wait and allow it to manifest. So definitely getting for you all. For some of you, you know, if you were drawn to the orange, this is like the sacral chakra, which is our creative energy, which is that fire, that spark. But it can also be tied somewhat into the solar plexus, because those chakras are next to each other, into the confidence. Some of you need the confidence to actually, you know, say, yeah, like this is your sign that you should be taking action and moving forward. Whereas some of you maybe are trying to push too much. Okay, so take that how it resonates for you. I am feeling called to read from the Everyday Witch Oracle booklet on this earth magic. Earth energy is steady, and it is slow and steady wins the race, right? So sometimes, you know, with this fire vibe, we want to just take action, go, 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 and make it happen, when we sometimes need to sit back and receive and flow. And that can be too, where it's more like that dream state, that etheric state, like messages that are coming into you, you know, maybe about some things to work through, and to just be in more of like connecting to the spirit realms and the earth, versus being in that fight or flight, like I was saying, had been myself, if you watch the intro. Okay, there's the earth. Forgot how this table of contents was set up. Okay, earth magic is at the core of all the pagans and witches, and even simply human beings do. The earth supports our feet when we walk, provides the base for the homes we live in, and springs all life from its fertile soils. We only have one planet, and doing some kind of earth magic, whether it involves crystals or herbs or even salt, helps remind us of how important the earth is to our magic and to our lives. Take a walk and pay attention to all the growing things around you, or plant some seeds in a garden or a container inside. There's a certain magic in starting new life in the soil and watching it grow and blossom. For something even more practical, do something good for the earth, like planting a tree, cleaning up litter, creating a welcoming space in your yard for birds and critters. As you do these things, be mindful of your connection to the element of earth, and fill your heart with gratitude for her gifts. So, and another one is, it's telling you to do something magical, connect with the element of earth today. So I'm getting, you know, there's a strong you know, urge, I think, for you to get out in nature, and this is like will help you be more in the present versus worrying about what's coming, how this is going to work, when I'm going to reach the shore. You know, just find moments in the midst of the chaos where you can breathe. All right, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. We are going to move on to number 2 now. And number 2 is the hat, the witch hat. Okay, let's see what we have for number 2. One more here. Got some conflicting messages here, so that's why I'm pulling some clarifying cards. And of course, then the card I pull is one that doesn't really help to clarify. So, okay. So what could be happening is there could be different messages coming through for different people. So bear with me here. Okay, so for some of you, because what I'm getting, you may be coming up on a milestone of some sort, either you know, an anniversary or birthday, and it's causing a lot of emotions to resurface. What I feel is that this could be related to a past situation, like somebody you would have been celebrating that milestone with, but you're not now. Because we have, obviously, okay, so in the fall, the autumn oracle, we've got emotions. It's time to be still and process your emotions. The 10 of Pentacles is tied to our family, our foundation, our home. It's like that completion. And you can see here, it's interesting. There are, you know, there's this couple, there's 3 kids and a dog. Okay. Interesting. So, and one of the kids, like, is older. But you also have cards here of moving on, walking away from a situation. And, you know, you've got coupled with 2 cards about intuition. The High Priestess. The High Priestess is that inner knowing that I'm going to take the high road. And it may be that you're questioning a decision. But this is confirmation because you have the card that says your suspicions are correct. So we may not understand, you know, why things happen, but a lot of times, you know, when we look back, then we may not understand, I guess, at this time, why did this happen? Or there could be regret. There could be, did I do the right thing? You know, I don't understand where this went wrong. But a lot of these things happen in life for us to grow and learn lessons and ascend, because we have this learn from life card. And my apologies if you hear some commotion in the back. I've got my cats are acting up in the background. So let's pull this learn from life card and see what they say here. 46. This is interesting. This is talking about mistakes, making mistakes and repeating lessons. So it could be a situation maybe where you're letting someone come in back into your life. Like it's always like this sentimental, oh, you know, they work their way back in. There's like this repeating pattern, and you think this time it's going to be different. And you're starting to recognize the pattern, right? That's where the high priestess comes in. And you know, what I'm getting is like when I see one of the clarifying cards, when I get the wheel, normally the Wheel of Fortune is a card, you know, of positive change. You know, but I chose this image for a reason. This wheel is broken. This wheel is broken and dead. So when I see this card coupled with these other types of cards, I think this situation has come to its end. A cycle is coming to an end. 10 does mean completion. I mean, the thing is, though, when you get the wheel, it's, you know, even if it's something that is dying and it's sad and, you know, you want to close, you know, you need to close something out, it's a positive change. It's a destined change. It needs to close itself out. This says, someone once said that those who do not learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them. Have you been learning as you move through life, or are you still doing the same thing over and over again and wondering why your situation hasn't changed? If you want to become your own best self, it's important to keep learning from life's lessons, large and small. What have you learned today? The card suggests maybe you need to be paying more attention to the lessons the universe is sending you. Is there something you should be doing differently but aren't because you haven't learned from your mistakes? Or is there some way you could be improving your life if only you were willing to expand your knowledge? Make sure that you're embracing life and experiencing it fully. I'm getting, like, as I'm reading this, and I'm feeling like there is a cycle here. Something's repeating itself. But again, you're starting to recognize this and you're ready to make this shift. But there could be, again, a lot of emotions coming up. But what you have, you know, is these other cards coming out, you know, a surprise, an unexpected windfall is on the horizon. This tells me, right, you may be surprised once you close the door in this chapter, how relieved you feel and how much lighter you feel, and the things that are available to you and can come into you once you no longer have that energy, that stagnant energy blocking the path. We also have the fairy tale card. Fantasy is clouding reality, reassess. So it's like the fantasy of this person, the idea of this person, the idea that they're going to bring this happy family and that they're going to follow through on their words, but you're starting to recognize, like, it is just a fairy tale. We also have burnt out. Yeah, I mean, it's time to take, like, the situation, whatever it is, they're draining you. It's time to take a break. It's time to put the focus of your energy back onto yourself. And we also have Omen. Trust your intuition. Do not ignore the red flags. So that's like 3 cards about your intuition and your inner knowing. Okay. But again, opportunity. A vibrant prospect is on the horizon, just like we had the surprise card, right? You have to be willing to let go of what's no longer serving in order to draw in the things that are better for you. But you have to also be willing to walk down that path alone, right? Which is scary as hell. Not knowing what's coming, if or when. But having that faith. Scorpio season, that we're in now is that time. It is that time of death and rebirth and transformation and closing out toxic cycles. Doesn't make it any easier, but it is, that energy is here for you to work with. We do have it seems like I think you know what you need to do, but there's some procrastination. It's time to take action, move forward, right? You can't, this literally, it's like when somebody's in a toxic situation, it can literally drain you. And it's like a slow death of your soul, but it can also cause physical ailments as well. Full moon, work with the energy of the next full moon. Now, our next moon is the new moon on November 1st, next week. But even though it's a new moon, it definitely is a moon that it feels like a full moon because it's in Scorpio. It is really urging people to, make that shift and enter into a rebirth stage. And if we're in a rebirth stage, that means something has died, something has ended, right? So in that sense, that culmination is like a full moon. Your other card you have here from the Halloween Oracle is the Night Song. Now it says hidden talents, but I've gotten this card a lot. I did a reading, several readings in an event last week, and this card came out, I'd say 70% of the time, and I kept shuffling. But it's like, it's the energy of the collective right now. Not only, the cardinal, this is showing that spirit is supporting you. You may see cardinals, or that may be, a special message for some of you as an animal totem. But this card in particular, I think it talked about the dawn after the darkness. Let's see, I'm going to pull it up. Let's see. Okay, so it's talking about Halloween, the veil being at its thinnest. It's talking about birds singing at night. Sometimes could be taken as an omen. But it's saying in some mythology, the night bird was able to direct us towards discovering our talents and true purpose, a kind of guide in the darkness, leading us to the dawn. Should this beautiful but shy bird sing to you by appearing during your divination, know that you must unwrap the present of yourself. Look, some of the gifts within you remain unopened. The time has come to step into your true potential and claim all possibilities for yourself. There was no more time to waste, no more excuses. Okay, that is insane because look, like she's opening a gift. That's the surprise card. You must unwrap the present of yourself. Some of the gifts within you remain unopened, and unexpected windfall is on the horizon. That means like how much, once you start to step away from a situation that's draining you, and you claim yourself back, and you start to turn your energy inward and recognize your gifts, your talents, and the things that bring you joy, it's like a whole new world opens up, a whole new world of possibilities when you're no longer engaging in these unhealthy patterns. And, the milestone, for some of you could be, you might have a pivotal birthday coming up. I'm getting, for some of you, it could be 40. But it's like you've maybe said, like, or if you do, let's say in the next year, you've got a milestone. Do you really want to be, where do you want your life to be? And if it's not in the situation you're in now, it's time to set intentions and to take action, to move on, to move away from the current situation. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. We are going to move on to number 3 now. And number 3 is the skull. So let's get that out. All right. All right. So, I always tell people, especially people who have not had readings before, that maybe are a little nervous about it. But in general, you know, this is really just confirming what you already know, right? So I just want to issue that sort of reminder, because some of these cards are a little bit heavy. But there's definitely someone, I feel like, in your life taking advantage of you. I don't know how else to say it. It could be, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner. I do have that vibe for definitely some of you with the Knight of Wands here. The Knight of Wands is like a playboy kind of energy, somebody who's hot and cold, somebody who might be breadcrumbing you, somebody who, you know, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of spark, there's a lot of fun, but then they take off as soon as they, you know, they come in, they take off, they come back. They're non-committal. They're just, and the Knight, you know, is not a king, so they're definitely more of an immature energy. It could be a friend as well. You definitely could, you know, you could have a friend who's fun and you enjoy their company and you laugh and you're silly, and it's like you can just, you know, have these wonderful fun times, but you're not entirely sure if you can trust them. It's interesting that there's a dragon in this one. This is the Everyday Witch Tarot, and I don't... Dragons are fierce. And so I'm getting that that's the energy that you're trying to get up your courage to set boundaries with this person. But, you know, the card from my Autumn Oracle is it couldn't be more clear. It says two-faced. Something isn't what it seems. Someone can't be trusted. Right? So that alone might be the confirmation, you know, all the confirmation you needed. But, you know, we've got the little boo-boo oracle, I don't feel loved nor taken care of. Right? So that's really all you need to know right there. How are they making you feel? Are you the only one putting in effort in this situation? Bats, you know, it's interesting, some bats are present. Bats are about overcoming our fears, looking at things from a higher perspective. I feel like, you know, with the Nine of Wands here, you can see she's walking up these stairs, and it's kind of this dark, heavy energy. Nine of Wands is an energy of being at your wit's end, kind of being at the end of your rope, and kind of just being like, I don't know how much more of this I can take. I feel like you've given this person in this situation a long time to change, a long time. You give them a benefit of the doubt a lot, because we've got the turtle here. Turtle could be a totem for some of you. Slow moving. That's where I'm getting, like, this has been an ongoing situation for a while. Perhaps you've, you know, just thought, oh, you know, this person, you know, turtles like kind of hide in their shell. They're just a little bit mysterious, or they're hard to get to know. I'm not going to push things. I'm just going to, you know, and you're always there, though. I'm getting this impression you're always there for them when they want to come around in your life, and then they don't reciprocate. What I'm getting, you know, the clear message here, cleansing body and spirit. You know, it's time to take care of you. I mean, look how wonderful that looks. You've got her relaxing in the bath. The water element is, you know, very cleansing. That's about facing our emotions. It's about literally clearing your energy field. You may want to get some selenite, a selenite wand. Actually, I think I have one right here. That's so funny. I was drawn to it earlier. And yeah, selenite wand right there. You can see, and I actually have a selenite sword, but a wand is just as effective, and they're very cheap. But you can use this to cut cords, to cut etheric cords in your heart chakra. So I would recommend doing that. There's no right or wrong way to do it, but you can just literally, let's say this is my chest, and I'm going to put this in front, and I'm going to just say, I cut any cords and ties and soul contracts I have with this person, and imagine these etheric cords being cut. It can be very helpful. That's a way to cleanse, right? You can literally get in the tub, the shower, preferably, and imagine like the energy of that person washing off of you and down into the drain. You do have the jack-o'-lantern here, and that is a protection card. So I'm getting that, you need to put your armor up, your shield, energetically, but also, energetically and, metaphorically, but also literally set boundaries. Let's see what the booklet says here for this one. This is interesting. So it's talking about kind of the history of jack-o'-lanterns, and then it's saying, today carving pumpkin jack-o'-lanterns has become an art in itself and a true icon of Halloween. Intricate designs, both scary and funny, can be found in almost every home that celebrates the holiday. Both electric light and candles now illuminate the inside of the lanterns. Know that you are protected and that you are capable of creating the life you want, and that the universe supports you in this should Jack shine his light upon you. Boundaries are important to teach people how to treat us, and drawing this card indicates you may wish to renew the ones you have or establish new ones. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. And it's interesting you guys chose the skull. That's what's on the cover of this. That card brings all this together. I mean, even if it's family, I'm getting that, like, if something's in alignment, you shouldn't feel drained. There shouldn't be constant chaos. There should be equal give and take and reciprocity, right? What is very hard for people to learn and to accept is you are so much better being off, alone than being with someone who is draining your energy. So I would highly encourage you with this new moon, the new moon in Scorpio that's coming up on November 1st. But obviously you can do this anytime. Set intentions for what you want your life to look like. And I think, you're going to start to recognize themes centered around peace, centered around joy, centered around happiness. And you're going to start to recognize that there are people or situations in your life where that's not in alignment. And so that something's going to have to shift. And it does start with setting boundaries. And if somebody doesn't respect your boundaries, then they don't get access to you, period. And it's very, very hard. I had that situation, with a former friend where I set boundaries multiple times, and then I would kind of relent on them. And then finally, when I got to the point where I was like, I'm choosing my peace, I'm setting these boundaries, then it was like this all or nothing. And I wish it didn't have to be that way, but sometimes it does. And I can tell you, your peace is absolutely priceless. And the more that you choose yourself, choosing yourself is not selfish. The more you choose yourself, the the less you're going to allow people to have access to you, people who don't deserve to have access to your energy or your time or your love. So I know that was probably a hard one to hear, but I hope those messages helped you. And again, if you didn't watch the beginning, I am available for personal readings, personal guidance sessions, and that information is down below. Until next time, take care.